Hello and welcome to High Points Music's Gear Reviews. I'm Lewis and today I'm going to be taking you through the Boss DM2w Wisercraft analog delay pedal. So the Wisercraft delay is a reissue of Boss's classic DM2 that came out in 1982 and was discontinued in 1984. Characteristics of an analog delay are that the repeats have a nice warm low fidelity tone to them, and people love that because our human ears like imperfections. So they did what everybody wanted and they've reissued that classic pedal with some new features. So let's go through the connections. We've got our guitar plugged into the input, our Clean or our amplifier plugged into the output. I'm running a 9-volt power supply. We've got 3 knobs to then work with. We've got our repeat rate, which controls the speed of the repeats, our echo, which controls the volume of the repeats, and our intensity. And the intensity controls the amount of repeats or for how long the repeats will play. So I'll adjust that speed rate and we can hear the differences there. So you can hear as they speed up, you get a bit of slapback going. I'll run us through some of the intensity controls now. So there's only a few repeats there. If I push that up just over to about 1 o'clock, you can hear that there's a lot more repeats playing through before they die off. We can get a little bit higher there. And you can really hear that repeat rate starting to decay and fade when you have that much intensity dialed in. The last control we've got is our echo, which again is just a simple volume, and it affects the volume of the repeats even right from when they start. So I'll dial that intensity back and the echo volume back, and I'll turn the speed up a little bit. So you can hear straight away that it's a good way to control the texture of your tone with the intensity. And if you're playing a heavy rock sort of style with maybe some distortion, or where what you're actually playing is quite busy, if you use that echo to control the volume, it doesn't mean that, it means that the delay won't get in the way of the other notes you're playing. Almost not hear it until you stop playing there. It's still there, but it's a good way to clean up your tone. So I would say the analog delay is a great pedal for thickening up a guitar line. Almost any style of electric guitar is going to suit that, depending on the settings. So the first few settings I would quickly run you through is the ambient setting I was using at the start. I had my repeat rate nice and low on the custom mode, so I've got a long delay time. I had the echo quite high because I want to almost make it sound like I'm playing with another guitarist. And the intensity is at about half because I do want enough decay that it's not going to cover up the next line I'm playing. So our ambient sound. Again, you can hear the repeats coming through, and there's a nice amount of call and response that a guitarist can do with that sort of setting just by themselves. So it's a great way to thicken up a lead tone in a rock or alternative or psych sort of guitar sound. The next one I'll show you is a bit of a slapback, which is a more of a surf or country kind of guitar tone. We're going to run our repeat rate reasonably high. I'll just check that for tempo. And I do want to hear it, so I'm going to run the echo quite, maybe not quite that high. And I don't want many repeats because I'm going to play constantly. So our slapback. You can hear it slapping back against the guitar. It's a great rhythmic tool. To me, that's more of a rhythm guitar sound for that reason. The lead lines don't get a lot of extra space there. It's more of a reverby kind of sound for a lead tone. I prefer a longer sound, but that's another way to thicken it up without getting too muddy in your response. The next setting I'll have a look at is a bit more of a chorus sound, which is a much faster repeat rate. And for this, because I want a faster time, I'm going to go to the standard mode here. Dial our speed up, almost so you can't hear it. I'll start slower, so you can hear a little bit of the repeat there. If I dial that forward, it's almost inaudible, which is what I want. So I'm going to make sure we've got volume because I want those repeats to come, I want those repeats to repeat back against what I'm playing. So it's a little bit hard to hear, but the difference between and this, it's just a little quick repeat. So a great way to thicken up a rhythm guitarist's tone. Without getting too muddy or in the way of what else you're trying to play. So we've got three kind of basic sounds out of it. I did use the custom and the standard modes there. The bigger difference will be the repeat quality, as we talked about before. But the repeat quality will come down to how long you've got your repeat rate and your intensity set to. So generally speaking, I would say that a lot of guitarists are going to get use out of it. Rock guitarists, pop guitarists, alternative, psych, anything with a bit more focus on the guitar for the ambient and more obvious sounds. But dialing it back into the slapback or some of the faster chorus and phasing sounds that it can do is really a great tool that probably any guitarist can use, certainly in rhythm work. And depending on the lead work you're doing, it's also a great way to get a thicker sound there. So that's the Boss analog delay. If you're interested in checking one of these out, you can follow the links below. I'll also have a link there for the power supply that we're using, because a good quality power supply is a great accessory. If you're interested in finding out a bit more about this delay and the other pedals that we're reviewing, you can check out the members area. It is free to subscribe to that, and we've got a bit more deeper dive of what these pedals do and how to use them with other pieces of equipment. If you've enjoyed the video, you can like, share, subscribe, check us out on our social media. And lastly, if you're interested in getting any consultation work done on your pedal board or your playing style, you can get in touch with us at reviews@highpointmusic.com.au. Thank you.